So Prix Final A in DRS100, it's Samuel Cunliffe and Callum Gunning on the front row of the grid. Alicia Palmowski and George Whitehouse on row number 2. Joe Sheppy and Thomas Harvey on row 3. The fourth row of the grid will be Dylan Brierley and Thomas Davison. While on row number 5 we find Rowan Campbell-Pilling and William Vincent. Oscar Walmsley-Jones and Ben Gartside will start from row 6 with Henry Foote and Owen Johns rounding out the 14-kart field in this DRS100 Prix Final A. So the weather still holds off. Clouds in the background. 8 minutes plus 1 lap. This is actually, to give it its official title, this is the Prix A Grand Prix. And Samuel Cunliffe, who is trying to take second in the championship away from Harry Graham and Thomas Harvey, he will start from pole position in kart number 6. Now 1 or 2 stragglers at the back of the pack still to catch up, but it's Cunliffe and Gunning again. Callum Gunning, championship leader by 56 points coming into today. Just take it nice and easy. Alicia Palmowski, well, she has yet to win a final. We're going to go around again. I'm just looking down to see, well, Palmowski set the fastest lap of the race in kart number 125 in the heat race. She starts third. You've seen Callum Gunning just taking a very tentative second place for Callum Gunning in his heat race. He was content to let Sam Cunliffe disappear off into the distance and take the race victory, while Gunning was a little bit more circumspect. He knows that, of course, he cannot just has to keep it nice and steady as he marches towards the title. Second last year, looking to confirm himself as number 1 in 2019. This time, the formation looks good. They come into the tram line. Sam Cunliffe in kart number 6 has the field at his mercy. We are off and racing in towards turn number 1. Cunliffe makes a good start, Gunning into second. Palmowski trying to hold on to third. A couple of drivers at the back there running a little bit wide, but everybody through turns 1 cleanly and through turn 2 cleanly. Down towards turn number 3 now. It is still your poleman. Cunliffe leading, Gunning in second, Palmowski third, George Whitehouse in 4th place in kart number 114. Then it looks like it is Joe Sheppy making a good start into 5th in kart number 123. Ben Gartside making a move there at turn number 7. Gartside, of course, who had a crash in the heat and is starting a bit further back than he would like. End of lap number 1, though. It's a good start from Cunliffe, who's got a handy little advantage over Gunning. Now Gunning has got Palmowski right behind him. Callum Gunning there under pressure. Does he defend coming into turn number 2? No, he doesn't. Again, Callum Gunning giving Alicia Palmowski plenty of room. Draws alongside Palmowski trying to go into turn 2, but this is Gunning again on the outside of turn number 4, just holding his position. He's got George Whitehouse right behind him, but Palmowski, they're getting it a little bit wrong coming into the S's. Now Gunning doesn't want to get himself in a situation where he's got karts all around him and he gets involved in any contact, but Cunliffe is disappearing up the road. Palmowski will try and set off after him in second position. Gunning defending now, third position ever so slightly from Whitehouse. Sheppy is there in 5th in kart number 123. Behind Sheppy is number 100 and Thomas Davidson. Then Thomas Harvey in kart number 8. So Thomas Harvey, third in the points. So he doesn't want to let Cunliffe get too far away. So Harvey in 7th has really got to make a move now. He's going to try and get past a couple of those drivers in front of him. There's Palmowski. Well, on that last lap, Samuel Cunliffe to the 38.913. 9/10 of a second quicker than Palmowski. Gunning in third position, just holding station. just trying to get it home in the points, on the top three, top five all day. That was his goal. Driving accordingly. Whitehouse in the number 114 car, that green and black race suit, cannot make the move on Gunning, and he's got Sheppy in the number 123 right behind him, then Davison and Harvey. So Samuel Cunliffe on an absolute tear here at the moment, trying to move up from 4th to 2nd. He was 69 points behind Gunning coming into today, so he's not exactly going to claw that advantage back. Out of turn number 7 now. Joe Sheppy and George Whitehouse right behind Callum Gunning. 4.5 minutes to go. They're dropping Harvey Davison and Dylan Brierley, who runs in 8th place. Gartside is 9th. Will Vincent, the best rookie, in 10th. So here's the Worcester-based number 15-year-old George Whitehouse in cart number 114, still trying to wrestle his way past Callum Gunning. Meanwhile, Sam Cunliffe's advantage. Last time around, Alicia Palmowski was 0.3 of a second quicker than Sam Cunliffe for the race, for the battle for the race lead. The gap down to 1.1 seconds now between Cunliffe and Palmowski. Thomas Harvey finally makes the move on Thomas Davison. That would be for 6th position. Thomas Harvey has to try and pick up another place now. He's got to try and catch Joe Sheppy, who runs in 5th position. Because Cunliffe is eating into his advantage, into Harvey's advantage, in their fight for 3rd place. And of course, you've got Nicky Taylor, who's just behind him in the championship standings. He's winning all there is to win in Group B at the moment. Harry Graham, also in Group B. It's going to be fascinating to see how things pan out when they all get together for the Grand Prix. Now, Cunliffe is under pressure. It's another storming lap. Alicia Palmowski, 37.837 seconds. Well, she took 0.6 of a second out of Sam Cunliffe on that last lap, and she could take the race lead away from him very shortly. Into turn number 3, Cunliffe looks over his shoulder, sees that Palmowski is there. Will he start to defend? Now, will we see Gunning, Whitehouse and Sheppy close in behind? We've got a 2-kart battle for the lead with 3 karts chasing them down through the S's. Into turn number 7 we come. It is Alicia Palmowski, the young 12-year-old driver from Glossop, chasing Sam Cunliffe in kart number 6 from Darwin. Up 15. Oh, and Palmowski trying to go around the outside. Cunliffe wheel to wheel. Hangs on to the inside line. Takes the racing line through turns 1 and 2. Continues to lead. He's checking over his shoulder and defending. Now Palmowski's going to try to go wide coming into turn number 3. Will she get the undercut coming out of turn number 3? No, she will not. Into turn number 4. He's going to take a brave move into turn number 5. And that is not on the cards just yet for Alicia Palmowski. Cunliffe is holding his line perfectly. Alicia Palmowski's going to have to try and risk it all to take the late race lead, because Cunliffe is defending superbly at the moment. 2 minutes to go into turn number 1 on lap 10 here at Hooton Park. Now through turn number 2, Palmowski's in Cunliffe's wheel tracks. You can see Gunning, Whitehouse and Sheppy closing in as Cunliffe defends into turn number 3. Palmowski gets alongside the race leader coming out of turn number 3, but she's on the outside line on the run to 4. And Palmowski now looks over his shoulder to see Gunning and Whitehouse closing in. Sheppy has dropped back a little bit in 5th position. The lead quartet crossed the line with 90 seconds to go. And now Palmowski looks to the inside. Does she make the move? No. Now she'll run a little bit wide coming out of turn number 1. Will that give Gunning a chance to pounce? No, because Gunning is still trying to keep his powder dry and not get into any sort of contretemps for any of the positions. Into turn number 3 they go. Again, Cunliffe checks over his shoulder. Into turn 4, Palmowski's on the inside. Palmowski is very aggressive coming into the corners, but she can't quite get a run on the exit. Now round turn number 7. Now Cunliffe runs a little bit wide in the centre of the corner, but managed to get the right front back to the apex, the late apex, the second curb. Oh, and wheel to wheel there. It was right front to left rear going into turn number 1. Cunliffe is just easing to the inside, and then Palmowski comes to the outside. Cunliffe just cuts back across, gives Palmowski racing room, but Palmowski now runs wide coming out of turn number 3. Gunning is alongside for second. Palmowski on the inside line. This is good news for Cunliffe. It gives Cunliffe a chance to breathe for a couple of seconds. 30 seconds to go. Palmowski's preoccupied with what's going on behind her. And what's going on behind her is that Callum Gunning and George Whitehouse want a piece of the second place action. Now Palmowski has to defend down the main straight. And you can see that Cunliffe has pulled out a couple of kart lengths through turn number 1. Now I can see a kart in front of them. There's a bit of traffic approaching. Palmowski defends second, going into turn number 3 from Gunning. It's the number 137 kart of Owen Johns, who they're going to lap as we approach the last lap board. Now there goes Johns. He lets everyone through, out of the way. Palmowski's back onto the rear bumper of Cunliffe. 4 karts coming to the final corner. They'll see the last lap board next time around. There it is. Cunliffe defends. Palmowski on the outside. Watch Cunliffe come across just to ease Palmowski wide going into turn number 1. Gunning and Whitehouse are there in 3rd and 4th. Cunliffe again defends. It's going to be a brave move now. Will Palmowski dive to the inside? She can't because Cunliffe defends turn number 3. Palmowski sideways. Briefly Callum Gunning around the outside over the grass. Championship leader loses 3rd place to Whitehouse. Whitehouse round the outside of Gunning. Great move from number 114, George Whitehouse. Cunliffe still leads. 2 corners to go. Make that 1 corner to go. Palmowski's pushing, but she's not going to do it. It's going to be another great win for Samuel Cunliffe. What a race in DRS100. Palmowski second, Gunning third. No. Did Gunning take 3rd place back there right at the end? No, he didn't. It was Whitehouse in 3rd, Gunning in 4th. Joe Sheppy comes home in 5th position. Fastest lap of the race at the end of it there for Thomas Harvey in 6th position. 7th for Thomas Davis and Ben Gartside 8th. Dylan Brierley is 9th. Will Vincent rounds out the top 10 as the best rookie out of Oscar Walmsley-Jones, Rowan Campbell-Pilling, Henry Foote in 13th and Owen Johns in 14th place. But Sam Cunliffe there, really good when he had to work hard for that one, did the 15-year-old from Darwin. But he is victorious. Now we look ahead to the next race, which is coming up very shortly.